Welcome to the Name Topic Podcast. We are live. It is Friday night. For those of you pre-recorded listeners, thank you for being here. I hope you can join us one day live and see our mugs. We look like people who just got. we need the little numbers in front of us. But welcome. Friday night is a crazy night because tonight we're breaking with the Name Topics rule for season 5. And we're going deep into what has transpired throughout the entire day today. Yes, we're talking Zelda. Yes, we're talking Star Fox, not Firefox. That's the browser. We're talking Star Fox. We're talking Mario movie. We're going in deep, and we're gonna go ahead and break it down. But before, I need to introduce our all-star cast. Here are our VIPs, starting with Starbucks Joyce CJ.
Hello, everyone. What have I been doing? Oh my goodness. I worked a lot, of course, this week, and I didn't all the way start over. Paul, I know I told you this, but I didn't all the way start over Octopath. I found one of my older saves when I was at a much lower level. And I'm bouncing from there because I think I was too excited the first time I played it. And I was like, I really missed a lot of story. Not to mention the last boss is so difficult. I could not get past him. So I said, let me go back, absorb more story, and then kind of work my way up and work with different team members. So, but that's what I like about that game. You know, one team doesn't work out. That's okay. Just got to recalibrate a little bit. It's all right.
There you go. We also got birthday wishes for the Queen of Hyrule, Zelda's auntie, Zelda's mama. What other nicknames do you have?
Zelda's mama, Zelda's auntie, Link's favorite auntie. I don't know. Y'all think of some other ones.
So Josie is 1 year younger.
That's right. So, yeah. That's how it works.
That's how it works now.
Mm-hmm.
Happy birthday once more.
You
can never hear it enough.
Thank you.
All right, Paul. What is going on? How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm living it up in the Lilat system over here. Oh, it's like a dream come true. Years and years worth of thoughts seemingly coming to reality. I am just happy with news without even having seen anything new yet.
Yeah.
Just been a happy time these last few days, I guess.
I mean, it's awesome. Yeah, they dropped it. They dropped the. I really thought that Fox McCloud was going to be a big surprise for everybody in the theaters, although it was rumored. But Nintendo wanted to put it out there. I think that Fox McCloud is this game's Donkey Kong. And so I think that they wanted to make sure that they revealed enough about him. His poster, give him the time of day. The voice actor was revealed also.
Glenn Powell, which makes sense from Top Gun.
Exactly.
Like, that's cool, man.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah. So Glenn Powell is the voice of Star Fox in the Super Mario Brothers movie. I'm happy with the cast this year, right? I think was it Rosalina? Rosalina? Yeah, Rosalina.
Rosalina is
Rosalina.
Brie Larson.
Rosalina, yeah, Brie. I think they have a good cast this year. They all sound great. I was a little finicky on. This is the only thing I'm gonna say about the movie. I was a little finicky on Bowser Jr., but it grew on me. That's what I'm gonna say. He did a good job with the voice acting as well. So that's stay tuned for the review coming up in the next couple days. Reviews are coming up, guys. Remember, not telling you exactly when I can't, but I can tell you it's really, really soon. So my review will be up very soon. We're only about 4 days away from the movie. Countdown, guy.
5 days until the release.
There we go.
I hate to be that guy, but I kind of have to be that guy. Am I the only one? And I'm not trying to be picky or anything, but I kind of wish Fox was left that an Easter egg. I really wish they wouldn't have told us.
Yeah, you're not the only one. You're not the only one. You're not alone at all. I wished it would have been. It would have been because they revealed it after the media event. For the media people in the theater, it was crazy. It was like there was a reaction there. But now the audience, the general audience, but the reason why they did it is because I'm gonna say it, pardon my French, some dummy from the media leaked that information out there. It started making the rounds, and it was eventually gonna make it into the, and so they even took a picture, and so it was eventually gonna make it out there and ruin the fun for everybody. So Nintendo wanted to get ahead of it and announce it themselves and make a media event out of it. Yeah. But I don't think Nintendo wanted to reveal it like that. I think that it was all very, very last minute. And so, yeah, I wish I could. Yeah, I wish you guys could have. But I don't think it takes away. I think at this point, now that it's done, it's still gonna be very, very cool for everyone to appreciate and enjoy. All right, movie is only in 5 days, according to the countdown guy. I'm trusting the countdown guy for this information, because if he fails, I'm sorry, Paul, you lose all credibility with numbers. So what have you been playing, Paul?
I beat Resident Evil 7 last night. It's something that I should have beaten 9 years ago, because I did buy it back in the day. I played through a decent amount, and then I stopped, and then it was too attractive to not get the generation pack for Resident Evil, for Nintendo Switch 2. So I beat 9, and then I'm like, let's go back and get through 7. I caught up to where I was before, and at this point, well, I could go back on the PS4 version, or let me just continue. And I just continued on the Nintendo Switch 2, and I already had a very fond thought of how good that game was, but it definitely went to another level upon completing it. It's a fantastic game. Like I said, I liked it before, but it's better than I thought. It's also bigger than I thought. It could have ended here, kind of like Joycey was talking about Octopath Traveler 0. I'm like, is this the end? No. Oh, no. And that was kind of a surprise. It took me a little bit to the side. And what a different Resident Evil game. If you grew up playing 1, 2, 3, Code Veronica, 4, 5, 6, and then boom, this first-person thing. I remember being kind of jarred when they did it, but it was good. But yeah, it's better than good. It's an excellent game. I'm looking forward to 8, because unlike 7 that I did play, a good amount of 9 years ago, I only played the demo of 8. So for me, 8's going to be a brand new experience now, and having the opportunity to switch between first and third person. So yeah, that's what's new for me. A little wrap up. Oh, and Star Fox 64. I'm just in Star Fox mode right now, that I threw on my shirt. Busted out NSO, and I've just been playing Star Fox 64 on the Nintendo Switch Online service, and man, just brings back old memories. I love that game.
Yeah. I wanted to share talking about Star Fox here. I wanted to share this post I made yesterday. It said this was a big surprise, and the movie preview are done, so it was going to get out. It got out, and there's but I'm not. I said there's more surprises. That wasn't the only thing. So there's good stuff to look forward to. I've been playing Mario, Super Mario Wonder, the Bella Bell Park edition thing. It's actually very fun. It's very, very fun. I enjoyed the extra levels, the extra challenges, and a bunch of stuff. It's really, really cool. What else? I was going to be in. I can say this now because they're gonna have me later on, but not right now because scheduling issues. But I was going to be part of NBC's Super Mario Brothers Galaxy promotion, So I was gonna go to Tampa and film be in the Today Show in Tampa, playing Super Mario Bros. Wonder with the crew. And so they're gonna send over a big package of Super Mario Galaxy gear that I get to unbox on the channel. Say, we're sorry that they had to cancel the segment, but we're gonna send you a huge box with merch. The merch we're gonna give you in person, and then we're gonna keep your contact so we can bring you in the future for similar segments. But yeah, that's something that I had in the background that I was gonna share with you guys. Did it happen? That's why I'm sharing it. But I'm grateful for the opportunity, and I'm also grateful for the merch that's coming in with Super Mario Galaxy on there. So shout out to NBC Tampa. Thank you so much for the invitation, and I appreciate you guys. And so with that, I said what I was playing, right? My girls right now they're in a concert. I'm like, this is their first concert. My daughter's first concert. So I, as a dad, I'm like, like checking my phone all the time. My wife dropped. She's seen this Japanese K-pop group. It's all about K-pop nowadays. I think it's called 2 or 2 Again or 2. I don't know. There's so many groups out there. I can't even. I don't know. Maybe somebody in the chat can let me know if I came even close to the name, because maybe I didn't even get it right. But that's what I've been doing today. Getting the house still ready. Listing it for sale. Oh, Twice. There you go. Twice. That's what it's called. Twice. Thank you. I buy. So you see, people know.
I checked out on music back in I think 2012, and I just completely checked out. I'm like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah. So people know about that this time more than I do. I call it 2, Twice, which is technically kind of, right. And so I'm in my makeshift studio here, with a green screen behind me, like a little box green screen in. And that's what I've been doing. Today was trash day. They left my trash. Some of my trash. Those crazy trash guys that forgot my trash. And then that has been my life for today, Let's go ahead and get into the news, because it's exciting stuff that has happened today, featuring Star Fox, right? And The Legend of Zelda. We can talk about Zelda all day, right, Joycey?
Oh yeah.
All day, every day, for no reason. I mean, you can just call me and we can just talk about it. I mean,
yeah. So
on a Tuesday,
let's go ahead and recap what Nate the Hate today released his podcast alongside MVG. Shout out to Nate the Hate and MVG. I look up to them both. They are great content creators and industry insiders, with vast knowledge and great connections. And so today we got the podcast from Nate the Hate and MVG, where from the very beginning they started talking about the Nintendo Direct. From the very beginning they hit this podcast. Normally they kind of ease into it, but from the very beginning of the podcast they hit the floor running with information. Okay, and so let me change this background music here. There we go. This is better. Little better. So from the beginning, they hit the ground running with some information about the Nintendo Direct. And the first thing that Nate the Hate said was that no, he has heard nothing about a Nintendo Direct happening anytime soon. Anytime soon. No chatter, no whisperings, but he has heard about the possible of it being in June. Okay, in June. Nothing in April. Nothing in March, because March is over. So it's already over. And so he said of a general direct, but he didn't count out maybe Nintendo doing another partner direct, because there are a lot of partners that want to release their games. They want to announce their games. So they're there's a lot out there that could be announced still. And so he didn't count out another partner direct. Okay? Partner showcase. And so with that, he kind of put to bed the rumor about an April direct, a general direct. And obviously, seconds later, after the podcast airs, we had a lot of piggybackers who were predicting the April direct. Oh, I heard from my sources the same exact thing. Everything they had, I also heard it myself too. And they're on X right now, just saying, I heard it from the grapevine, and the grape told the other grape, and the grape told me that there will be a Nintendo Direct in June. I'm like, okay, anybody can do that. Anybody can say that. After a credible source says it, you jump on top of it, and then you heard it too. Come on, I'm not no more shade. Let me be quiet right there. I'll leave it there. But Nate continued. Do you want to any of you want to read here on the little let's see here, what do we have? Major other stuff, blah blah blah. Okay, let me go ahead and read a little bit, and then Josie, I'll let you take over for the Ocarina of Time. You know where it is? It's right here in the notes.
What? I thought I don't get to just fly by the seat of my pants like I always do.
You never do that.
Oh yeah, right. I never do that. Yeah, never.
No, never. No direct. So no general direct until June 2026. By the way, I've been saying it since February. Chat in the chat. Give me emojis if you have heard me during the live streams telling you that Nintendo is doing a February 2024 copy with the Indie World, with the partner showcase, and the June Direct. Let me know in chat if you remember that. You guys can back me up. You can back me up. All right, no general direct until June 2026. Nate is confident there is nothing in March or April. Nintendo is leaning more on social media app announcements like the Nintendo Today app. I also mentioned that yesterday, where Nintendo could release dates for, let's say, Rhythm Haven Groove on the Today app, and then put that game in June, and then that will give Nintendo a little more breathing room for the rest, right? So a partner direct can still happen, but the big general direct is likely for June. This gives it flexibility with development timelines. Summer 2026 lineup. So let's see here. Blah, blah, blah. All right, so switch to focus. He mentioned a brand new Star Fox game. Classic style revival, not a big departure from the Star Fox Zero. Star Fox Zero is the latest, right? From Wii U?
10 years ago.
That's crazy.
April 2016.
The latest. It's still 10 years ago. And so not a big departure on that. Let's see here. High quality, very satisfying visuals. Online multiplayer included. Expected reveal soon. Possibly April? Via social media surprise drop. Release in June or summer. That is a big surprising that they would not announce it in a direct. Although they did say that the app is like a Nintendo Direct. It has the same importance for them for announcements. So, Paul, any thoughts on the Star Fox new reveal? It's going to be very similar to it's going to be a new game, new title, but very similar to Star Fox Zero.
I cannot wait. For probably a decade, ever since Star Fox Zero came out, I've been wanting a new entry. And I have been a firm believer in a long time that Star Fox is the best chance that Nintendo has at developing a new powerful pillar to hold up their fortress if they do it right. You've got Mario, no doubt. You have Zelda, which after Breath of the Wild really solidified that placement as a new pillar. It kind of always was, but sales-wise, like now it really is.
Yeah.
You have Animal Crossing, Smash Brothers, Splatoon, Mario Kart. So you have those several, right? And then you have the ones that are like Fire Emblem, Xenoblade, Punch-Out, Kirby, Donkey Kong, Luigi's Mansion, that, some sell better than others. Some are series franchises. Some are a little bit newer. Regardless, you've got Pikmin. There's a lot. Nintendo has a lot. But Star Fox, I'm like, out of all of them, Metroid included, F-Zero included, Kid Icarus. Gosh, you start to see like how many Nintendo has. But I'm like, Star Fox has the grandest potential because it has a cool cast of characters. It's known for fun voice acting. A lot of people like talking animals. Talking animals have been around since 80s. I mean, maybe Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was responsible for bringing that.
I like his reaction. Talking animals.
TMNT, partially responsible perhaps for, that. And then you look at all the mascots. You look at Sonic, talking animal, Crash Bandicoot, Banjo-Kazooie, talking animal, Ratchet and Clank, talking animal. It makes up a lot of gaming. It makes a lot up of mascots. Spyro the Dragon, Croc. Right. So there are a lot of talking animals in gaming, and typically they're associated with platforming games, and usually they sell not bad. So Star Fox has that recipe of cool characters. You've got cool flight. You've got fun voice acting and banter back and forth. And you have something unique with the gameplay in that there are not a lot of space shooters these days, but you have to evolve the franchise. And I made a video several years back of like, you kind of got to pull a couple of pages from another franchise's book or two to make it work. And you borrow a little bit from Insomniac Games and Ratchet and Clank, because in that game, specifically Rift Apart, you are Ratchet and you are Rivet, the woman Lombax character, and you're going down in space hubs with characters, talking, having a fully fleshed out story. You're boarding on your ship and you're going back. And it's not a space travel game in terms of flight like Star Fox, but it is very similar in terms of like you're going to different planets and doing spacey things. So I'm like, this Star Fox game, if I were to make it, you've got Fox on land, in kind of like Tatooine-like settings from Star Wars. Once again, interacting, having some RPG mechanics where you level up your blaster or your close quarter combats, your punching and kicking, your deflector shield. You have online cooperative experience where you could have 4 buddies flying R-Wings. You have online co-op where someone could be in a Landmaster tank, someone in an R-Wing above, and go through a land like this. You've got big boss battles. You have online versus mode set up. You could use the Nintendo Switch 2 camera better in this game than any other game, because in Star Fox, you've got cockpits and you've got the faces of your squad of Falco, Slippy, and Peppy, and you could have the faces of your actual friends on a Nintendo Switch 2 camera, but be in your cockpit off to the side, feeling like they're playing with you or they're shooting you if you are in a versus mode setup. So you have this recipe for going in space, going on land. You could have your hub with the technology and the CPU of today be in the Great Fox. You watch that Star Fox animated video that came out 10 years ago in launch of Star Fox Zero. It's like a 12-minute video that Nintendo released. And it was like, man, this is what's cool about the game. Like, there's these buddies and they kind of rip on each other and they just chill in the Great Fox in between missions. That's where you have your central hub. You could have the crew sitting here in the lounge playing on a Super Nintendo-like thing and have some mini games. You could play some 3D chess like Han Solo did with, Chewbacca in the Millennium Falcon. You could have a shooting gallery over here. You could go into VR AR missions with your Landmaster tank. You could see what Peppy's doing, what Slippy's doing. Like, oh my gosh, there's such a cool crew. And there's toys and marketing that comes with Star Fox better than almost any other Nintendo franchise because it's approachable enough for kids, talking animals, but cool enough for adults. Who are all adults that are buying these Mario and Zelda and Sonic the Hedgehog games? They're all adults for the most part. So you've got plastic toys that you could sell, R-Wings, t-shirts at Hot Topic, new line of amiibo. Star Fox works so well. It could be your online continuous alternative to Splatoon from a multiplayer competitive standpoint. You could still have your grand adventure mode. I love it. I don't know if I'm getting everything I want. Like, is it going to be purely ship-based or also have these on-land Fox navigating through hallways, through corridors with a blaster, and then going back on, or like, dialing in, I need help, and having, Peppy from the Great Fox shoot something down to wherever you are and like open up a canister and have a new blaster, or like have Falco. I'm spitting so many ideas at once. I don't know if anybody's able to follow along, but that's because I've been dreaming up of a sequel forever. I thought Starlink did such a good job with the Star Fox crew integrated into the Nintendo Switch version of the game. Like, they handled it beautifully with the way the characters looked and interacted and stuff like that. Just, if they do it right, and it looks like they've got the right idea, they're piggybacking off of a 1 billion plus generating movie by having Fox front and center, probably going to be a decent role, kind of like they did with Donkey Kong, further establishing him, bringing him back to the limelight again. I am dying to see what this game looks like. It's such a fun group. Maybe I'm too biased because I have a lot of nostalgia for Star Fox, and that's very easy to cloud your judgment when you were growing up playing this game on SNES, Super Nintendo, N64, GameCube, and just hitting different powerful moments of your life and associating with any game, you love it that much more. But when I try to break apart from my nostalgia, I'm like, no, dude, they've got the recipe to be the Guardians of the Galaxy of Nintendo. Literally, they're a space crew, but also they're the lesser known group that has a lot of chemistry within. So this news, every generation, thank you. Every generation, I know I'm going to get a new 3D Mario, a new 3D Zelda. Those are like my two top franchises in gaming, along with Street Fighter. I love it. I always want to see a new Zelda and Mario. But since I always know I'm going to get them, Star Fox has been what I've wanted for 10 years as my most anticipated something that doesn't exist for these reasons.
It's crazy.
You don't have the guaranteed Star Fox every gen. You're going to get Mario. You're going to get Smash Bros, but not this baby. So I am hyped to the max, and I cannot wait to see it. Woo!
So, Jesse, you want to add? Are you a Star Fox fan?
I am not.
You want to? Would you like to add? Would you like to add anything to the announcement of Star Fox and crew?
I'm hype about it in the sense of, yay, I feel like Nintendo's saying, almost in a way, we can take a few risks now that we're in a better position than we were when we were going into Switch 1 era. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So why not to, if you're going to bet on anything, bet on yourself, bet that, okay, let's see how Star Fox does with a newer audience, that sort of thing. I will admit, I'm not as keen on Nintendo's marketing since they, in my personal humble opinion, that no one asked for, they completely fumbled the ball on Metroid Prime 4.
Oh, they did for sure.
As far as marketing was concerned. And I'm not even a big Metroid fan or anything. I'm just like, why would you do that? For a game that costs so much. And I'm concerned about a new Star Fox only getting a Twitter drop and not, in a direct where it's really going to blow up the internet. Now, I'm not saying that tweets can't go viral and all that good stuff, but I think this is news we would rather hear about in a direct.
Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree with you. and you even touched into a point where that I was going to make too. If what Nate the Hate heard about this particular game and its release is correct, because they might change it. They might drop it on the Nintendo Direct. They might because maybe Star Fox ends up being a really important character in the Mario movie, where people are so hyped they leave the theaters and they end up buying Star Fox merch, and they see that uptick in sales. And they read social media, and they kind of see the hype behind it. All right, let's go ahead and throw it into a Nintendo Direct. Let's give it a little bit more push when it comes to materials and maybe an amiibo or whatever. But I agree when it comes to the promotional part of this. Hopefully, it's not a Twitter drop, especially for a game like Paul was saying, 10 years without a Star Fox. And I'm like, wow, yeah, you're right. We did not get a Star Fox in the entire lifetime of the Nintendo Switch, which is one of the highest selling systems of all time. Best system to actually have a Star Fox, even if it was a Star Fox Zero, and HD edition or whatever, definitive edition, something for Nintendo Switch, and we didn't get it. I do have to say, Star Fox, I love Star Fox as a character. Super cool. Amazing character. That's what's crazy about his sidekicks. And one other thing about the game, it's hard for me to play. I get dizzy too much. The camera, the motion controls, it's just a little hard for me to play. So I'm hoping, well, it says here, not a big departure from the Star Fox Zero. So Star Fox Zero was the last one I played on Wii U, because I bought the Wii U at the end before the eShop closed, and I downloaded Star Fox Zero. I didn't enjoy the game just because of the motion controls, because of the movement. I got dizzy, maybe because of my eyesight issues. I love the banter that Paul was talking about, because you have people talking while you're, hey, come over here, follow me, do this, do that, and you have all this conversation that makes it feel like you're actually in a movie, right? To add to what Paul was saying, instead of you taking over a character, maybe you create your own, and to them, they see you on the camera, and you have your own little slot, and then whenever you're talking to them, they see you on their little camera on their R-Wing, right? And so that the Switch 2 camera could actually make you create your own character, where you're just part of the crew, and you're not taking over anybody else's faces or R-Wing. You're your own self, which is pretty cool. That's a little thing there, but I love Star Fox. I'm not too crazy about the sidekicks. Star Fox. I know this guy here also another part, the lore. It's very simple, right? The Star Fox lore is very simple. Star Fox dad had this crew. He sacrificed himself, and that's it. To save the universe, to save the galaxy. And then we have the rabbit, which is what's his name? Peppy
hair.
Poopy. Peppy is the I'm guessing he's the oldest out of all of them, because he was the dad's partner during the missions. Look at Star Fox killing it. He looks super cool. The character is very well designed. Not too crazy about the frog for some reason, because I feel like they could have evolved the frog a little more, right? Make him look a little cooler. Not as, and when I'm looking at Star Fox, the NES, like although from the beginning, it looks like they've been trying to keep him the same. They did his design, try to keep him the same, but in this form, right? So I'm not too crazy about this one. What's the eagle's name?
Falco Lombardi.
That is the second coolest character in the game. I think that they need to work on the characters more. I think they need to work on the lore more. I know, expand the story, do something with it. If they're going to do, how much did Star Fox Zero? Well, it can't be that much. It was on a Wii U. It can't be that much. But if you can get that information, Paul, how much did did Star Fox Zero sell on the Wii U? And the Star Fox before that, how much did that one sell?
Looks like Star Fox Zero was about 500,000. Star Fox has had a hard time.
Yeah.
You realize that Star Fox on SNES, Star Fox 64, and Star Fox Zero are all the same game?
Wow.
They are all remakes of one another. Remakes slash reimaginings.
I see. And that's why the lore is so it's not that deep. It's the same story. 3
of the games are reimaginings of each other. Now, I think Star Fox has a good story because James McLeod, the original founder of the Star Fox team, had his partner Peppy Hare and Pigma Dengar. Pigma Dengar, he was the one who betrayed the group, turned them over, led to James's death. So Fox assembling a new team led by the guidance of Peppy is what, brought them back to avenge him. We got that lore expanded in Star Fox 64, which was like a remake essentially of Star Fox, and then Star Fox Zero was a reimagining of that game. So they only really expanded it when they went into Star Fox Adventures, which was a separate thing, and then they continued it with Star Fox Assault and then Star Fox Command for the DS. I'm looking at sales. You've got Star Fox Assault was 1 million seller, Command 500,000. Here's another one, Star Fox 64 3D. It's another entry of the original game. It did about 1 million. Adventures almost 2. The original did like about 3.5, and Star Fox 64 did 4. So the game, the series has been between like a 500,000 to 4 million seller, but the last time it sold very well, it's kind of like Star Fox 64, because I don't know if you count Star Fox Adventures sitting at 1.8 million as really good. Then again, 1.8 million on an install base of 21 million, that's like 10% or like 9%, so not bad. But, the game hasn't been able to get past this story barrier, and it could, because you could explore, let's go visit Falco's people. Let's go see where he's from. Let's explore the relationship between Falco and Cat. Let's see Fox and Crystal. Let's go out of the Lilat system and not have a big giant talking head in Andros as the main boss. Let's do something else. There's so much potential. But you gotta don't be a remake. Please.
Exactly.
Just another. I don't need a 5th entry in the original, unless if it was like, okay, this is the last time we're doing it, and starting now we are going forward. No, I think it's ready to just go forward now.
And so, thank you, Paul, for pointing that out, because I did do a lot of research for Star Fox, because I admit it, from NES and up, I haven't been the biggest Star Fox fan. I've been the biggest Star Fox fan, the character. He looks really cool. I've had a lot of merch, toys growing up, and but when it comes to the game itself, I've seen a lot of people say the same thing. They keep remaking the game. It's kind of the same story. The story is not that deep. It's not that there's not that much lore to dive into. Paul gave a lot of ideas that they could take into account. How does that make you feel that they're not going to? It says very classic style revival, not that big a departure from Star Fox Zero. Is this another remake? Another retelling?
If it's a classic formula, I think that would tell me, Paul, you're probably not going to get this on land, up sky, walking around, shooting, upgrading your gear to be blasters and punching a ticket and then going up. It's more of a, we're creating an awesome new space-based game with planetary movement as well. So, once again, flying, probably some R-Wing stuff. but maybe there will be something else to it. Like I could still see mostly older formula,
Yeah.
but to keep it a little bit bigger and more modern, I think you do have the Great Fox being a hub. And I think in the hub, you kind of do. I don't know if you guys played Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
That was released several years ago. Great game. That had a hub, and you could do certain things. The Great Fox is even bigger of a ship. So that's where you have Fox and Blaster stuff. That's where you have these mini games. That's where you initiate, hey, Bill is challenging us for a game of laser tag. How about it? You know, Bill, one of the characters that's like a fellow Cornerian army buddy in the world of Star Fox. And like, that's where you could have the game have a little bit more substance, because some people don't believe you could do a $70 or $60 space shooter in 2026 and justify it because you're going to beat the game in hour and a half. And is there really that much of a reason to go back and just get a high score? I think that if you make the worlds good quality, different lengths, if this is a visual tour de force, like this game looks amazing. Don't forget, it's been 10 years. Nintendo Switch was significantly more powerful than Wii U. Not by a ton, but enough more that a Star Fox game would have looked pretty good there.
Yeah.
Zero already was pretty nice. Now you've got a significantly more powerful system in Nintendo Switch 2. And that kind of tells me this game actually might be the best looking game yet on Nintendo Switch 2, because if it is on-rail shooter, you don't have to worry about this big open world. You could focus on a more narrow experience of delivering the best graphics that you can. But then obviously you have all range mode and stuff. I don't know. Like I'm so happy it's coming back that I don't care. I'll buy it if it's just here's 15 planets and all you're doing is flying from front to back, all range mode and Landmaster tank. Worth it for me because I love these guys. If it's a little bit more, cool. Evidently, it's going to have online versus mode, and that's pretty neat too. And I wonder, you know, Star Fox 64 was 4 players. Could this be, 16? Could we have some real serious dogfight missions with like 32? How big are you going to make this?
Yeah.
Could you have races around planets? More than just aerial combat, but yeah, we're gonna pilot and navigate through trenches and stuff like that, like Star Wars Episode 1 racer kind of style. There's some stuff that you could do.
Yeah. I'm leaning towards this being Star Fox Zero. Just with what he said about a shadow drop and then dropping in June, such a short release window. I'm leaning towards this more being a port.
So you think it's going to be a port of Star Fox Zero?
Yeah, I think it'll be a port with some quality of life improvements, just taking advantage of the movie hype, and then maybe that'll open the door to another Star Fox in the future. Because he's saying here it's not he's heard it's not a huge departure from Star Fox Zero. What if it is? What if it is a Star Fox Zero HD or whatever, like Switch 2 edition or some sort of game, and then dropping in June? This is 2 months. There's a game. Think about this. There's a game that has not yet been out, that has not had a game in 10 years, dropping in 2 months. That has not been announced yet. Dropping in 2 months from now. Because we're at the end of March, so April, May, and then June. So I feel like it feels more like a port to me than a remake or even a brand new title.
I think on April 8th you announce it. Let the Super Mario Galaxy movie get in like $230 million in its first week of US box office. And when Fox McCloud is all over the posters, you'd be like, coming in 2 months, June 16th, Star Fox blank for Nintendo Switch 2. Boom!
I mean, yeah, that's a good way to put it. I mean, yeah, it kind of makes
don't know.
it kind of makes sense because Star Fox is a lower selling game for Nintendo, first party game, and so in order to give it that initial boost, they do have to release it very close to the movie, so kids can be like hyped and excited about the game, about the character. So maybe that could be a thing, right? So yeah.
So much work would have to be done though to Star Fox Zero, kind of, to make it online multiplayer, because Star Fox Zero did have a Star Fox Guard separate that did have multiplayer, but it was not a versus game per se, like, you know, combat and stuff like that. It was very different. It was with Slippy Toad and his uncle, and it was fun but different. So I don't know. I'm thinking it's a new game, but let's say hypothetically it was Zero, just retooled, fixed up, tightened up, thrown in some things, taken out some things, a new direction here, and then we're using this engine that's souped up and then throwing in this online versus mode. I mean, that could be it. And if that's it, I think that's the lowest level of cool factor, just because it's not new. But if that's it, that's still not bad, because Star Fox Zero had some convoluted, unnecessary structure to how you had to play it, but it was fun and innovative, just unnecessary. So it was this duality of like, you kind of want to sometimes play a game and relax and not have to navigate a whole lot, but what it was cool, and the game itself was more fun than not. So I think you have enough bones there to make it better and to make it pretty awesome, but I think you do Star Fox justice with a new game. It still is kind of a small release window. Like if they, you know, announce this game within 2 weeks of the movie's release, and it's coming out 2 months from then, maybe the way they get by it is they didn't have to have a 7-9 month campaign for the game, or 4 months. The movie is the campaign. The movie is, hey, it's got this 6-week run in the box office doing 1.4 billion. That's the marketing for the new Star Fox game. What if, now this is probably too much, but like, dang, what if following the movie, there isn't a post credits? I mean, I don't want to look at you because I don't want you to verify anything. Just, I don't want to study your face. But what if after the credits is the trailer for this game? Oh, snap, crackle, pop. That would be how you do it. You throw the trailer for Star Fox new game coming out this June at the end of the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Why not? Boom. Oh, I would do it. Come on, Nintendo. That's how you do it. That's how you get it seen by 40 million people plus.
All right, and that has been the rumor for Star Fox. We have another one.
Go on and on. Star Fox.
We got another one. For Joycey. Joycey, are you around? If not, I can go ahead and start it out and read it, and then we can get Joycey's input once she returns. So,
you go first, Mike. I'm coming right back.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so other than that, he State the Hate reiterated basically on Splatoon Raiders could be a summer release. Rhythm Haven, I doubt Splatoon Raiders will be a summer release. That game is a little bigger. Doesn't even have a year date. And it says TBA. The only game in the entire lineup without even a single hint of a year release for that game. So I doubt that whether it'll just announce it and then release it a couple days later. But Rhythm Haven Groove, that's one that I believe it could be June or July. Fire Emblem is another one for September or October. And then possibly a Switch Sports. I think this right here is not part of what he stated as he's heard. He is more like speculating at this point, right? What he can see happening. As I remember listening to the podcast, these mentions here. But when it comes to this one, a major Ocarina of Time
Ooh.
remake for Nintendo Switch 2. Not a simple HD remaster, described as a proper, full remake. Okay?
You're gonna get some primal weird noises from me. I'm sorry, maybe I should mute my phone.
Keep going. No, keep going. You're just reacting.
So hyped.
Yeah, you're just reacting. That's what it's about. It says scope detail unknown. Could be faithful to like Demon Souls or with some modern touches, aimed at both new audiences of fans trying to try to get into Zelda's 40th anniversary. Release window second half of 2026. Now this one, I'm kind of on board with this one because we have the 40th anniversary of The Legend of Zelda. If they want to go big, if they want to release a game right before they continue to hype the movie, which by the way, the movie is something that I haven't even thought about. Just thinking about this Zelda remake is I think I see Ocarina of Time as Miyamoto's baby, just like Final Fantasy VII was for Square Enix. That was their jewel, right? Their jewel, their baby. There are other games in the line, but nothing like Ocarina of Time. I think for them that was like that game. And so, Joycey, I want you to take over. Ocarina of Time remake. Don't think about the polygons that you see before. It's ground up 4K resolution. Rounded. I was gonna say Link has the most rounded butt. Link has a rounded butt, not a square one.
Fully orchestrated music.
Oh, yep. I'm telling you.
I've said this before. They're not going to get me to buy it again with just a fresh new coat of paint, or even if they just remade it from the ground up. Ocarina of Time is that girl. We all know that, right? And even though it's not one of the best or the best selling Zelda game, it's a major, it was big, So this is a really good time, Nintendo, to fill in some blanks.
Oh my God.
Expound on the story more.
Yes.
Give us Sheik's adventures, you know what I mean? Let hard mode be unlockable from the start. I'm okay with them doing some of the things that they did in the harder mode where the cows are in weird places and things like that. I'm okay with that kind of silliness. But it needs to be remade from the ground up. Add some additional elements, add some additional dungeons, add a whole lot of lore. Do not put in the big gossip stone like they did in the 3DS HD version. They put this huge gossip stone in the Temple of Time where you could go get hints. No, don't do that. Okay? Don't do that.
I want the gossip stone.
We don't need hints. Figure it out the old school way. Okay? By looking it up on the internet. No, I'm kidding. Seriously. And I appreciate Nate the Hate for bringing this to us, and I am not saying that man is not telling the truth or is misinformed. However, is it me or does it seem like he knows too much? Almost like there's too much evidence.
Yeah. I mean,
that's a very lengthy list of.
Yeah, it's so detailed. It's very detailed. I think Kit from Kid and Kristoff shared something on X saying that Nintendo has to be very upset. Very upset with
true.
Yeah, if it's true, because we just found out the entire rest of 2026, the holiday, Nintendo's holiday lineup. And you know how Nintendo's likes to surprise and delight. They live for that. And so having all this information get out before time, It does take away a little bit of the fun. The Christmas morning.
No, it doesn't take away from the fun. For me, it adds to my doubt because I'm like, why does it feel like somebody trying to set Nate up or something like that? Like that's too much information.
Yeah.
Even whoever his leaker buddies are, you know, I'm like, I don't see them giving out that much info. Just big direct in June. Y'all really want to keep your eyes peeled for the mid to end of 2026. So because that adds doubt to my mind, I'm not necessarily excited. And I apologize, y'all. I'm on the hype train. Don't get me wrong. I am stationed on the hype train. I have my own VIP, area on the hype train.
Yeah, it's a cabin.
But I have a healthy dose of skepticism with this one.
Okay,
because there's a lot of signs pointing toward it. There's a lot of signs pointing towards why this wouldn't be a thing. I'm also a little bit concerned on what Nintendo feels is a full remake. Now, to their credit, Link's Awakening, that was a from the ground up remake. I don't remember all the devs info interviews and everything, but that looks completely different than the original. They're going to have to go with not adult, but a more mature version of that in Ocarina of Time, and also take the brightness off of Ganon, like in the 3DS port. That drove me crazy because I was like, no, he needs to be this dark beast that I can barely see except for the surprisingly cute rainbow tail. And I'm supposed to be scared here. Come on now, let's darken him back up. Let's stop. We don't need all the extra light. And I know Greek the Geek is saying everybody's so negative. We're not being negative. It's just we're being a little bit realistic. We want an Ocarina of Time remake. This is a great time to do it. Okay, especially because that's going to kick off for the movie next year, right? Because everybody knows Ocarina of Time, even if they don't know Zelda that well, but everybody knows Ocarina of Time, especially the gaming community.
Yeah.
So if it is true, I want a remake that is going to blow my mind again, almost like Breath of the Wild did, or like Ocarina of Time did when I first played it, or when it was first coming out. I want them to go all in and give Navi extra lines. In fact, give her extra lines, instead of just look and listen, give her some extra lines. And again, fill in the blanks on some of this lore. What if we get a whole new intro where it's similar because we still got to meet the Deco Tree. I'm not talking about rip out the soul of the game and take out the main things that made us fall in love with the game. I'm not saying that at all. Mm-hmm. We're talking about adding to what goodness is already there. So, I'd love to see a different intro where we see Link's mom get injured and she's running with him as a baby, trying to get him to safety to the Deku Tree. I would like to see more background about that. If there is something that can, we know what happens after Ocarina of Time, the events of Majora's Mask. I don't know how they could, I don't know what we could do to change the ending to give everybody, give the fans a more solid answer to what happened. Because as of right now, we just know that the timeline splits because, we keep jumping back and forth in time. But I would like to have a solid answer as to what happens to Link now. Because he technically can't go back to Kokiri Forest. Mm-hmm. And yay, Majora's Mask, but they never answered the question of, in the beginning of Majora's Mask, what actually happened to Navi, because that's who we started out looking for. And then the other thing is, if we have an Ocarina of Time ground up remake, I'm going to insist that we get a Majora's Mask one. I don't know if they'll do that because Ocarina of Time, that's the sweet spot. That's the actual baby of the franchise. Like you were saying, Majora's Mask over time, it has become a very, very big cult favorite of the fan base. But for the general fan base, I don't know how they feel about a Majora's Mask remake, but I would want one because I want even more story from Majora's Mask that has nothing but beautiful stories in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody has their little stories. So, you know, Nintendo, I'm gonna trust you on this one, but I'm also gonna have my expectations in check, because you can't just HD at this time. You can't just smooth out polygons and octagons this time. You can't just update the music. You can't just do anything this time. You got to go so hard. Okay. That it's going to make us feel like those kids, you know, back in the day when these games even came out. And that is my very, very, very humble opinion.
Okay.
So not saying I don't want it. I want it. But I really, really want them to really just go ham. You know what? Put the master cycle in there. Just make it a story beat. Put it in there. We'll take it.
Okay.
You know.
All right. That sounds like a very, 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 very you know, it's everything you said is justified, right? It's something that, you know, you speak with knowledge as a Zelda fan for such a long time, and all the points you made are of value, and I agree with some of it. All right.
Okay, what do you disagree with? That's cool. I want to hear your thoughts.
Actually, I don't disagree with anything. I was just like trying to be funny. But what I have to
have a discussion. Does Paul disagree with me?
No, but wait. I got things to say. I
I apologize. Go ahead.
No worries. Ocarina of Time, the remake. Let me ask Paul one question. Paul, when you played Final Fantasy VII on when you play Final Fantasy VII on PlayStation 1, how did you feel?
Back in the day?
Yeah, give me in 2 words. 2 words. How did you feel? 2 or less words. Did we find Paul's Achilles heel?
Oh wow.
Okay, that's a good one. All right. So when you played Final Fantasy Remake, did you feel like you were playing the same game?
Oh wow.
There you go.
Question.
There you go.
I won't spend too much time on this.
Yeah.
But since it had been way many years since I played the original, when I got Remake on PS4, playing on my PS5, I believe. Yeah. I was playing simultaneously. I would go on my Nintendo Switch version of the original Final Fantasy VII that I purchased on the eShop, and I would play for about a half an hour, and then I would play Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I'd be like, my gosh, what an incredible remake. And I would go back and play Final Fantasy VII old school, and I would go through this depot and get to this boss, and then I would stop, and I'd go to Remake, and I'd be like, my goodness, was the size and the scope expanded tremendously. And then I'd go back and visit Aerith's house, and I'd be like, oh my gosh. And then I would do the slump, and then I would go. In the original, it took 5 seconds to go from here to here with these hands. And in the remake, it became a whole thing. That took an hour. My gosh. And then I stopped because I got to a certain part, and then that's where Remake ends, and then it goes into more open world with the green grassy areas, and that's where Rebirth picks up. And I was like, gosh almighty, that was fabulous. That's the way how you did a remake from an old game that was super limited on technology at the time. Don't get me wrong, they did what they could.
Yeah.
But this was like that proper evolution.
Yeah.
That's how I played Remake back in the day, which, because it wasn't a new game based off of the essence of the story, but it was a completely new experience.
Yeah. So Joycey, is not more of a disagreement, it's more of a reassurance that I wanted to provide. Because I first thing, I'm on board with the Ocarina of Time remake coming out this year. I'm on board with it. I've been talking about it since last year when the patent came out. think early this year or early or late last year when the patent came out, and then shout out to Anders Restart who pointed out, yeah, this is Ocarina of Time. This is Navi right there. It looks like this they're redoing this, like, you know, the Ocarina of Time, when the Ocarina of Time remake rumor was heated up. Saw the patent was there, and so they've been working on it. I believe Nintendo is making this game from the ground up. Nobody will look the same, not even a little bit, not even a little bit. Expect Kokiri Village, right? Kokiri Village, is that the village? That's the village you started, right?
Yes.
Expect that to be
children.
Expect that to be even bigger. Just like Paul was saying, it took me this much to go from here to here on this game, but it took me this much to go from here to here. Expect from the moment you go to you meet the Deku Tree, expect to go through a lot more. You know?
Yeah, I want to hear how the Kokiri children are like related to the Koroks.
Yeah.
Even though I think like timeline wise, you can figure that out, but I want to actually see them acknowledge it in the lore. I want to see that.
Yeah, and so you have to think about back in the day. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself because this part is exciting. I'm not gonna say it yet. This part is exciting, but remake from the ground up, new characters, new world design, new voice actors. I think it's gonna be semi-open world. Okay, maybe you'll go into a village, you won't see any loading. You just go straight right in. It'll, you know, you'll only have a little bit of loading when you go inside houses. But going into villages, passing through the area, it might be because look, first thing, we're on Nintendo Switch too. Nintendo already has Tears of the Kingdom experience. You know, this is a Zelda game post Tears of the Kingdom, and so you expect Nintendo wants to up their muscles a little bit when it comes to this game. Not only that, but yeah, expect everything to be bigger, expect everything to be wider, expect more stories, expect the voice acting, very good voice acting. And because I don't want to go too much into this, but
don't want to go too much into what, Mike?
When Nintendo released Ocarina of Time for the Nintendo 64, they did not acknowledge the time split.
True.
They did not. Now, after they have well documented the time split, they are creating Ocarina of Time again. With that in mind, imagine them providing us endings to Ocarina of Time. 2 different endings, maybe.
Ooh.
Or even DLC that goes into different endings, kind of like really officially establishing the timeline and officially acknowledging, because in Ocarina of Time they didn't do it when the game was announced or released. They didn't do it. They weren't even there yet. I think the fans were the ones who kind of put that together, right? But now they made it
kind of demanded.
Yeah. And so now that it's official, imagine them using that to build the game, knowing this is the game that really splits the timeline and that really sets 2 worlds apart. Like, we have 2 Links that come out of this game. We have two Ganons that come out of this game. And so I that just makes me excited at the end, because I know Nintendo's gonna. I'm pretty sure they're gonna make us ball at the end. Oh no!
I want them to. But but that's kind of tough in a way, because I do like Ocarina of Time's ending. And where him and Zelda see each other as teenagers. She's like, okay, and I'm gonna send you back. You need to live your childhood, and then he goes back. I do like that ending. Paul, how do we feel if they changed it just a little bit, just to give us a little bit more lore? Are we okay with changing the ending a little bit?
I'll tell you how they achieve the best of both worlds.
Go for it.
You do what Resident Evil does in some of their games, like the ending of 7 or the ending of 9. Do you want to save so-and-so, or do you want to save so-and-so? Here's how the Ocarina of Time ending ends. 1, you lose. And when you lose, this is how this ending goes, and you get a little bit of post-game content that goes into this one. This one, Zelda asks you, would you like to continue living your life as an adult or go back in time? I'm choosing to stay as an adult. That's that timeline. The other option, you get to go back and be a child, and that's that timeline. Boom, problem solved. And that's how you could have a little bit of post-game content. It's going to be this is your last time to save. Now, if you lost, you are supposed to lose. That's fine. You lost. You're not going to choose, do I want to lose? No, you just lost the battle, but it's so significant that unlike in the other boss battles, or if you died from swimming and you didn't catch your breath in the game, okay, game over, recontinue, boom. No, if you lose in the last battle, it goes into this is one of the timeline endings. But when you win, you get one of these two options, and you get to, live on as adult Link, and they'll just have a little bit of post-game content in the future, or you go back as Child Link, and it's a little bit more simple, but a little bit of extra post-game content as well. And then, to answer your other question, what you do next is, in 4 years, you take the smaller game, that's Majora's Mask, which only took 2 years to make, and since it is smaller, it would take less effort to use this Ocarina of Time engine to apply it to Majora's Mask, and in 2030, for that game's 30th anniversary, Majora's Mask that is, that's when you release that title. So that's how you have this rollout from Ocarina to Majora, 4 years apart. Use that game's old engine in 98 to 2000. You can use this game's new engine in 2026 to 2030. And the next big new Zelda game, depending on how ambitious it is, maybe it releases somewhere in between, like 2028, or maybe it's a little bit farther away, like 2032, which would be kind of wild to think, gosh, you got to wait 7 years for a Zelda new game on Nintendo Switch 2? How's that going to be? Not that bad if you have two amazing games kind of in between, but that's another story for another day. But like, I could see Majora following from this, and that's how I would solve the triple ending deal. Works beautifully, in my opinion.
I see Nintendo dropping that Majora's Mask as a DLC extension, like later on, and you can start that save file from the right timeline, because maybe they'll allow you to save a file for all you choose to save a file for this timeline, save a file for this timeline, and save a file for this timeline, so that whether you when you get Majora's Mask DLC, you have to start it from the timeline that it corresponds to. You know what I mean?
Yes, Nintendo, give us save files again.
Save files. But yeah, I do feel like now that Nintendo has acknowledged the timelines, it's gonna be a big part of the ending of Ocarina of Time, right? And this is apart from all the remaster. Look at Link. Look how Great Link looks there. That's how I think Link's gonna look in the actual game. You know?
I don't know, man. It's kind of low key creeping me out.
I mean, it's not. This is not the exact Link, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna look like better than no polygons.
Those dolls where they're made out of like material that's almost like too soft.
Yeah,
that's what he looks like. And I don't know, man. It's giving Chucky. I'm just saying, it's giving Chucky.
Okay, child's play. All right. But yeah, I think Ocarina of Time is gonna be awesome this year. There's a lot of other things. I would like
to see that, because I think in 2030 that's when we're getting a brand new Zelda. For some reason,
I think if we get Ocarina of Time, that will be the only game. I think there's another top-down Zelda coming.
Yeah, I could see that happening too, but they're gonna want a big Zelda game on a Switch too.
Greco is the ones who built Echoes of Wisdom. Greco, Maneko. Grezzo. I know it was something. Grezzo, yeah, Grezzo.
Did they make Echoes of Wisdom?
Right, Grezzo.
Hello, help me out.
I think it was Grezzo. I said Gecko, like I almost said Geico.
Grezzo.
Grezzo, yeah.
It was Grezzo, right?
Yeah. they had experience first.
Yeah,
You know,
with the Link's Awakening, yeah.
Link's Awakening.
And so, and then Anuma said that those games are still coming in. So those top down little TV Zelda games are still a thing, and maybe we get a Link to the Past, or can you imagine getting a Link to the Past and Ocarina of Time remake? Both, like,
pure joy.
Yeah, I think Zelda, Joycey will start writing her will. Okay, this is the year. I'm good. All right, thank you, Nintendo. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
No, bye, because I want to see the 2030 new Zelda. So,
oh yeah,
no.
okay. The Cyberpunk one, right?
Yeah, the Cyberpunk one. This side be over soon enough. Heaven lasts always. So,
all right. So before we do our last remarks, not remarks, our very last words.
Oh my.
I want to go ahead and give a shout out to Dream a little more for the 5 gifted Paul Guild networks, 5 gifted memberships, and we also got 5 gifted on the Odyssey as well from Dream. Dream, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for your support. You are awesome, and you were great, and I appreciate it. I'm sorry I missed the shout out early when it actually happened.
By the way, I gotta rewind to Star Fox just real quick because I've been following something.
Yeah.
You know that the Fox McCloud poster that Illumination put up is the #1 most viewed, most liked poster on X history.
Woo!
When it comes to a non-main character in a project. So I'm talking like, okay, non-main character, so if you have Iron Man, well, who else do they make posters of? Here's this secondary, tertiary character. Fox has beaten everybody else ever. The former highest was Sadie Sink or Sadie Sink. I forgot how you pronounce her name, but
from Spider-Man.
Sadie Sink, from Stranger Things as Max Mayfield for that Netflix poster of hers. She had 9.9 million views and 248,000 likes. That was the old #1 for non-main character. She's a big character, but she's not one of like the main 4 boys, right? That is like the biggest crew. Fox McCloud has 252,500 likes and 32.5 million views.
Wow.
Woo! You got marketing power with Fox right now. And I'm telling you, you throw that coming June 4th exclusively for Nintendo Switch 2 trailer at the end of the Super Mario Galaxy movie, that fits in line one day before the Nintendo Switch 2 anniversary. That means it's a beautiful cap off to the Nintendo Switch 2's first year on the market. Not June 6th, which would be a day after, right?
Yeah.
But June 4th, Thursday, basically on the anniversary. Like it'd be beautiful.
That'd be fantastic.
I just had to rewind a little bit.
Fantastic. Now I want to end with this before I shoot it out to Paul and to Joycey for their last words or remarks. Or we have to find a name for this, Paul and Joycey. We got to find a name for this. I mean, something gaming related, right? The last coin or the last something. I don't know.
The game over.
The last level. Something
I don't know.
that.
Maybe chat can help. I don't know. Chat has some creativity in that. Whatever chat. Joycey, you pick whatever chat says for this this portion here. But what I wanted to point out here really quickly is hopefully that we don't get taken down by this, because what I'm about to show you has been proven right. Ooh. And I shared this back in 2024. Okay, guys, I'm not a leaker, although I do have a resource in the movie industry just because of where I went to school, and this is where I got this information. I shared it on X yesterday, I think it was, and I'm gonna share it with you guys today, right now. As soon as this thing allows me to. Okay, maybe I can just share like this. Let me go ahead and do a screenshot really quickly here. But ignore my goofy looking face because my face looks goofy. Go ahead and put this here. Let's hi Mr. Fox McCloud. And this I shared in 2024. Okay, this is a list I was given with upcoming release dates. Now, I want to reiterate, by the time when I was given this release date, the Super Mario Brothers movie still did not have its name as the Galaxy movie, and it didn't have a release date. This had a release date of April 3rd. You guys remember that, right? April 3rd. What happened to April 3rd? That was the initial release date for the Mario movie. And then about a month ago, they pushed it forward. I think it was Mario Day. They actually did that. They pushed it forward to April 1st. So the initial release date for the Mario movie, according to this document, and even promotion before that, was April 3rd. Now, what two characters are in the Mario movie right now that were discovered? Two new characters. We just spoke about one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Firefox. It was the other one. What are the,
No.
what are the other ones? What are those little pesky little things that just kind of they're everywhere?
The Lumas?
Pikmin.
Or Pikmin.
Pikmin. Now look at this, the bottom list here of movies on the list. Elimination, Nintendo, PGP, Polygon Production, Donkey Kong, Donkey Kong Country, the movie. All right, then Elimination, Nintendo, Star Fox, Scoop, status unknown. Then Elimination, Nintendo, Pikmin. Okay, we've already seen Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong was in the first Mario movie. And then the other two characters that are on the list are appearing in the Mario Galaxy movie. Star Fox and Pikmin. That is no coincidence. If Nintendo is really working on expanding the universe, they've already introduced Donkey Kong Country, Donkey Kong, and even Donkey Kong Country, because we visited the area. Star Fox is now introduced into the Mario Galaxy, and Pikmin is also part of the movie. So the universe is real, guys. This will eventually, probably, hopefully, end up in one of those Revengers movies. What do you guys think?
Yay.
Yeah. Your question is how are they going to make live action Link animated? Unless they bring him in.
I have no idea how this is going to go.
Unless they who framed Roger Rabbit.
They could do it that way, or I think what they'll do is they'll have like Link come through some portal and he turns animated or something like that.
Yeah.
Because we could get away with that. Yeah. Actually, I wouldn't mind that, because the only other that I can think of, the only other franchises I can think of are Zelda and Metroid that could make it on their own outside of the animated, their animated counterparts. But who wants that?
Yeah.
We want all of our babies in what in the big Nintendo CU or whatever,
Yeah.
Nintendo Cinematic Universe. We want everybody. Everybody's here. We want everybody. So
quick question to the crew: are you guys gonna see the movie on release date? Mario movie?
I think I'm going next Saturday.
Okay, so
12:01 Wednesday morning.
Okay, so on Wednesday morning, Yoshi's going on the 4th, right? Saturday the 4th.
I think so, because that's when everybody's free.
Okay, so Saturday the 4th. I wanted to see if by the time we had the podcast, everybody has seen the movie, but we'll go over the reactions on the following podcast. That way, we all have seen the movie, and we can talk a little bit more about it, right? Because NDA by that time is gone, and the reviews are out, and we've all seen the movie. We can kind of like talk about our experiences and stuff.
If I see it any earlier, I'll let you guys know.
Okay,
So
okay.
we could talk about it next week.
Okay.
Maybe I'll go early and then go again on Saturday.
I'm actually going again on Wednesday, and I'm going on Saturday also.
No, I just recently rewatched the Mario movie, and I'm like, God, I don't remember this. I don't remember this because the movie goes by like
fast.
that.
Yeah. It's a fast,
extremely fast.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of stuff. I was like, I don't remember this part or this part, and I saw the first one like 3 times. So I'm like, how do I not remember this?
All right. So Paul Gale, any last word? I don't know. I'm trying to find a word.
I didn't have my closing either. So I'll let Paul go first, and then I'll go next.
Okay.
Good time to be a gamer. I'll just say that. You got Star Fox, Mario movies, Zelda, so much cool stuff happening. I love it. Every day I'm putting up a countdown to the Super Mario Galaxy movie. We only have a few left. Every day I'm also putting up shorts for gaming history facts. You can find those on X, TikTok, YouTube. As for me, I'm mostly on X, typing away video game stuff, and YouTube, making videos and all that. And that's where you can find me, at Paul Gale Network.
Awesome. Thank you, Paul. And Joycey, any last words? We're boring.
I just want to say, knowing, in my opinion, or having these rumors that are possibly very, very true, or leaks or whatever out there, that doesn't diminish it. While it may give me doubt that these things are happening, it's not going to diminish my hype. I hear the opening piano bars to Ocarina of Time. I'm just going to start screaming, and then Mike's going to have to say, oh, Joyce, did you see this? And did you see that? And it's like, I'm just still screaming. So,
yeah.
So seeing it for real, that's where my hype will just go through the roof. So I will be hyped when I see it. So that has not been taken away from me. I don't want anything visual to leak. Okay. And again, there's still rumors, so I'm not even required to believe them anyway. So there's that. Keeps the expectations in check. So anyway, but I am on Twitter, so please feel free to follow me at DJ Joycey on Twitter. I don't post as much as I used to, but if you ever want to talk about Zelda or ask a Zelda question, or if you need help with a boss, please feel free to at me.
That's good. I'm going to put this out there for Paul and for Joycey with time ahead, because I do believe this is going to be one of the biggest Nintendo Directs in a while.
That's why I wish they would tell us earlier.
I'm saying if they tell us with some time, let's see if we could podcast react to it.
I hope they do like they did with the Switch 2 Direct, where they tell us like a little while in advance, even just a week in advance, because we only need a couple of hours. Like, come on, Nintendo, work with us working people.
Because I know Paul is on vacation by then, right? You are on vacation by the first week of June.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't be too hard to if they announce it, let's say with 2 days in anticipation, we could do a podcast live reaction to the Direct.
I will definitely try.
Okay. Calling sick.
Definitely try.
Calling sick. I'm going to work because my car broke down.
I don't do that to my boss. I'm straight up honest with her. Like, girl, I'm trying to do an emergency podcast. Do we have any vacation time? Work with me. No, I tell my boss the truth. You know why? Because then I get more opportunity because she trusts me.
But what I was going to say is you can say, my car broke down.
And she's going to say, now, Joyce, but why do I see you on your podcast?
I'm saying,
I thought you were sick, dear. Why did you lie to me? You see, there's a problem with that.
You just missed what I said, Joycey.
Oh, what?
my car broke down.
Oh my gosh, my car broke down, and then I start coughing. What the heck? And she's gonna say, "What? You don't need your car to work from home. So why do you need the day off? Why are you lying to me? Stop joking, Joyce."
Yeah, there you go. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. You can find me here at the Odyssey. I'm trying to get back to it. As you see, I have my little impromptu put together studio here to release daily videos. And the Direct News is back live starting Monday through Thursday. I started yesterday. wasn't that far away. Yesterday, we had a good outcome, good results. And today, Fridays, there's no direct news. It's only Monday through Thursday because we have the Topics podcast on Fridays. And so I will try to do a video in the morning and direct news in the afternoon around 5 p.m. Eastern time, Monday through Thursday. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one. Before we let you go, we got two things we got to let you know. This is just two very small two things. Number one, shopping on Mike's website. Oh, thank you, Dream. Appreciate it. MikeOdyssey.com. You can get your t-shirt and stuff. Appreciate it, Dream. You're making my day. You're making my day. I don't have any sound effects. Sorry.
By the way, one last little thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Today, happy anniversary, 15th anniversary to the Nintendo 3DS.
Whoa! That is
just one last drop for the heck of it, you know.
That's a long time. 15 years. 15 years. That's crazy. So anybody was born?
I was trying to get my balloons to activate, but they're not activating.
Somebody in the chat who's 18, you were 3 when the 3DS came out. Wow.
Three little baby years old, 3 little fingers.
Oh.
Right. And I was 15 years younger, 15 years less whites, and I was 15 years younger, maybe 15 pounds lighter too. I don't remember, maybe. Okay. All right, guys.
In the show, Mike, I'm tired. And say your 2 last things.
Never give up. Never give up. And journey on. I'll just flew away.